Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table on a Friday night with your laptop open, looking at your bank account. You just got paid, and you feel a brief wave of relief. You pay your rent, cover your utilities, and immediately move $300 into your savings account because you're trying to be responsible. Then you open a spreadsheet or look at your balance from 6 months ago, and you realize something incredibly frustrating. The number hasn't really changed. You are working hard, you are making decent money, and you are actively trying to save, yet you still feel completely stuck. It makes you pause and think, wait, am I doing this whole money thing completely wrong? If that is you, I want you to take a deep breath. You are not lazy, and you are not bad with money. The truth is, the traditional advice we've all been given about saving is fundamentally broken for the world we live in today. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how to fix your savings habit, using a simple system that actually works without making you feel like you're starving your lifestyle. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about why good earners still feel broke. If you're someone who is tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear despite doing everything right, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. Here's the thing. We've been told for decades that saving money is just a matter of willpower. If you just skip the daily latte, pack your lunch every single day, and say no to every dinner invitation from your friends, you'll magically become wealthy. That is a complete myth. Willpower is a finite resource. Every time you have to make a conscious decision to deny yourself something you enjoy, you drain your mental energy. By the time Friday rolls around, your brain is exhausted. You cave, you buy something expensive, and then you feel guilty. This constant cycle of restriction and regret is exactly why your savings aren't growing. The problem isn't your income, and it isn't your desire to build wealth. The problem is the friction in your current system. This is where it gets really interesting when we actually look at the numbers. Let's compare two different people over the course of a year. Meet Sarah. Sarah tries to save money manually using pure willpower. Every month she aims to save $500. Some months she hits it. Other months, an unexpected car repair pops up, or she gets invited to a wedding and she only manages $50. On average, because life happens, she saves about $200 a month. At the end of the year, Sarah has $2,400 in her account. Now look at David. David uses a system I call the frictionless flow. He decides to automate just $300 a month to disappear from his paycheck before he ever sees it. It happens in the background, completely out of sight. Because it requires 0 monthly decisions, he hits that target every single month without fail. At the end of the year, David has $3,600. David saved $1,200 more than Sarah, even though Sarah's monthly goal was higher. That is the power of removing human friction from your finances. Here's what most people don't realize about the psychology of money. Your brain views your bank balance as your available spending power. If you log in and see $3,000 in your checking account, your brain automatically calculates what you can afford based on that total number. It creates a false sense of security. You think to yourself, I'm doing great, I can totally afford this extra dinner out. But if 500 of those dollars had been automatically moved into a separate, hidden account the morning you got paid, your brain would adjust its expectations to $2,500. You wouldn't even miss the missing money because you never truly felt like you owned it in your checking account. We adapt our spending to the environment we create for ourselves. To fix this and finally see real progress, we need to implement a 3-step framework that I call the Automatic Runway. Step 1 is the hidden outpost. You need to open a high-yield savings account at a completely different bank from where you keep your everyday checking account. It shouldn't be linked to your main debit card, and you shouldn't have the app on the home screen of your phone. By physically separating your savings from your spending cash, you create a healthy barrier. It takes effort to move money back into your checking account, which stops impulsive spending in its tracks. Step 2 is the Payday Diverter. This is where you set up an automatic transfer through your employer or your main bank to move a set percentage of your income into your hidden outpost on the exact day you get paid. It needs to happen before you pay a single bill or buy a single grocery item. You are paying yourself first, treating your future security as an absolute, non-negotiable expense. Step 3 is the lifestyle guardrail. Instead of trying to cut your spending to zero, you set a realistic fixed amount for your monthly guilt-free spending money. Put this money into a separate card or account. Once that specific bucket is empty for the month, your fun spending stops, but your savings have already been safely tucked away in your Outpost. Think of your financial life like a garden hose. If you leave the hose lying on the ground with the water running, the water just puddles randomly, evaporates, and disappears into the dirt. That is what happens when you let your paycheck sit in your checking account without a plan. The money just drains away into random, forgettable purchases. But if you connect that hose to a structured irrigation system, every single drop of water goes exactly where it needs to go to grow your plants. Automation is that irrigation system for your income. It channels your cash into your future before it can evaporate into the daily chaos of your life. Now you might be thinking, Jack, this sounds great, but my income fluctuates. Or I barely have enough money left over at the end of the month to cover my basic bills, so how am I supposed to automate anything? I hear you, and that is a completely valid concern. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't need to start by automating $500 a month. If you are stressed about making ends meet, start by automating just $20 a paycheck. Seriously, just $20. The amount doesn't matter right now. The habit matters. Once you prove to your brain that you can survive without that $20, you can slowly bump it up to $30, then $50, then $100. You build the financial muscle incrementally, rather than trying to lift a massive weight on day one. To wrap it all up, let's look at the simple steps we covered today to get your savings moving again. First, set up your hidden outpost at a separate bank to keep your future wealth out of sight. Second, activate your Payday diverter so your savings are taken out automatically the moment you get paid. Third, establish your lifestyle guardrail to give yourself permission to spend guilt-free without touching your progress. At the end of the day, building financial momentum isn't about being perfect or living a miserable, restrictive life. It's about designing a simple, quiet system that protects you from your own natural human habits. You work too hard for your money to watch it vanish every single month. And I'm curious about something. What is the single biggest unexpected expense that usually messes up your savings goals for the month? Let me know in the comments below.